Hello, everybody. My name's Euphorya, and I am so darn excited to present to you Anno 2205, the latest entry in the Anno series, the excellent Empire city building resource management simulator by Blue Byte. And man, I've been, as you know, if you have any stake in my channel, that I'm a big fan of Anno, and Anno 2205 has just come out. So there's only one type of game mode, so let's just get into it, and I'll explain some more stuff once we're in the game.
Supervisor of the Lunar Licensing Program. We have a lot to discuss, but first, I'd like to introduce you to your artificial data amalgamating messenger.
Yes,
Thank you for participating in the Lunar Licensing Program. The program stipulates that your corporation set up operative spaceports to act as bases for a new wave of lunar colonization. You will further assist Global Union in the development of a fusion energy reactor to avert Earth's impending energy crisis.
Sounds good to me, man.
Officially, only megacorporations are allowed in the program, but I personally took a stand for you. You just have to sign in with your corporation name.
All right, Jake Corp LP. So there's a joke throughout. Well, if you don't know, my name is Jake, and there's been a kind of a joke throughout my entire childhood that I would someday start Jake
but
Corp.
I need to see your
and
corporate
all
logo
those
as well,
all those
for
jokes are
identification
coming to
purposes.
fruition today. Let's see. Let's pick a good logo here. I kind of like this one. It's a cool triangular logo-looking thing. I don't really need a dragon. I also like this one. It's kind of modern. I think we'll go here.
My superiors at the Global Union had reservations about you, but I've convinced them. They even decided to allocate you high-grade territory for new corporate headquarters. Choose a sector.
So we do get to. So there's kind of three main large sectors, and they moved away in the previous Anno games. They had a like random world generation, random island generation, I guess, and in this one they moved away from that to make these actual like set piece ones. Now I did my test game. I started with this Walbrook Basin. It's pretty cool. You get to build a pretty neat. Geez, I can't remember what they're called. Energy producing hydroelectric dam. I also took a look at the other two Verdian Coves. I don't really like the look of Verdian Coves, so I'm gonna go with Cape Ambar. And it shows you here the building sites. Those are become somewhat relevant later on in the game. Well, as we're building, mines are on mountain sites, and coastal buildings, you have to build them on coastal building sites. And really, honestly, the one you pick is pretty irrelevant. I don't think there's any strategy behind it. It's all you're still going to be building the city and getting all the same stuff.
It's just paperwork, really. Nothing to ponder over long.
Chill out, lady. I'm explaining stuff. But each one has a different kind of flavorful super project that you do. So here you can kind of build a big statue as kind of a side project. Here you can produce the dam as a side project, and here you can do some kind of undersea development or something as a side project. So I'm gonna go with Cape Ambar because it's I think it's one of the cooler ones, and Walbrook Basin tanks my frame rate.
Almost there. We just have to negotiate the terms
all
of
the
your
waterfalls.
contract with Global Union, funding conditions, and the like.
So I'm gonna go on advanced difficulty. I did standard for my test game, and it was pretty straightforward. So I think I'm gonna go advanced. Maybe one day I'll do a playthrough on expert level, but let's just go advanced right now. So we get regular revenue per employees, regular warehouse output, and a normal startup capital. There's also these advanced settings where you can do like all kinds of shit. Stuff. And to like kind of customize your difficulty a little bit, but I'm just going to go for the normal advanced game difficulty here. So let's get cracking. Jake Corp LP in Cape Ambar.
You are now entering Phase 1 of the Lunar Licensing Program. The Global Union assigned you territory in Earth's temperate region to establish a spaceport and a base of operations. The construction of a space elevator to Global Union headquarters is also required. For further instructions, speak to your official contact person. Global Union
Will do.
wishes you success.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
A true island paradise, don't you think? The coastal area here is very rich in natural resources. I wonder if that's
Looks
the reason
gorgeous.
why a member of the Big Five is planning for an underwater research project.
So that's kind of the flavor side project you can
But for
do.
now, that's secondary. The protocol demands that you establish a spaceport in this area. The spaceport building site off the coast is still unstaffed, but as soon as you've built the necessary housing, your construction team will be moving in.
Thank you. So this is a spaceport. Our objective right now is just to get to the moon. To the moon! And we kind of want to just build this spaceport. And there's a whole bunch of stuff we can do. There's some side projects we can kind of work on to get this thing going.
Keep in mind. But Adam compiled you a database where you can access all the information you need.
Thank you. We can also colonize some of these other islands if we want to expand and get some more production buildings. And not only colonize, but we can also build bridges between these islands. And this is kind of the colonizing part of this, where we kind of... this is our starting island. Then we can build some bridges over to the other islands. And it can get pretty awesome if you want to go that far. So, eventually, we'll get all that that goodness. Look at that. It looks amazing. And each one of the islands has a lot of kind of very unique layouts, and I really like that about the new game. So, let's get started, shall we? As always, the first order of business whenever starting one of these new games is set up my keybinds. So I have R to build roads, and WASD is my camera controls, and I think that's just standard now. The game does not start with WASD as your camera controls, and it's kind of annoying, if I do say so myself. It's also helpful to kind of look around the environment. You can double-click those and collect some building materials. So our main building material is biopolymers. That's kind of like the main building blocks where you can build everything. So I think what I'll do is I'll start by building a little bit of housing over here. Possibly. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So let's get that started. So we want to build some residences, and that's here we go. The game is pretty good at telling you what to do next with these work in progress kind of tooltips. And we want to attract a population of workers. And to do that, we want to build 25 residences and connect them to the warehouse, which is right here. This is our warehouse. Pretty easy to do. So I like to make 2x6 blocks of residences.
Nice apartments. Makes me look forward to quitting time.
Hey, I only built the best for my workers. Okay, so that's 24. And what the hell? Let's build... Oh, we're out of biopolymers. Okay, good. So all the buildings need road connections and everything. I guess first of all, if you're new to Anno, then this is a pretty good entry to the series to get kind of involved in, because everything is it's pretty simple to get into, and the game is actually pretty simple, and I'll be explaining a lot of the mechanics. If you're an Anno veteran, then a lot has changed, and I mean a lot. And I like some of the changes, I don't like some of the changes, and I don't know how I feel about some of the changes. So we'll get into more of the changes and stuff as we move
Been a while
along
since
here.
I had such an important guest. What can I do for you?
I'm not that important. I mean, so as you can see, the workers, they need organic food, so we can build some organic food farms for them eventually. But what we need first here is to get our biopolymer production up and running, because right now we have no biopolymers. We need biopolymers to build residence houses. So let's go to our biopolymer factory here, and as you can see, production, it produces 10 biopolymers per minute, and it consumes 10 bioresin per minute. So if we go over to this other one, we can build a sunflower farm that produces bioresin. So basically what we want to do is make a sunflower farm to get some of our bioresin, and then we want to create a biopolymer factory to make the actual biopolymers. And we'll be good to go. So I think I'll put it over here. This will be kind of like the production area, I think. So let's do that. And then we'll lay down one of these biopolymer factories here. And we'll do something like this.
Great.
Yeah,
Building
I'm happy with
material
it.
shortages shouldn't be an issue anymore.
All right, so this is a really good feature that I like. And if we go down to the goods overview down here, we'll see a list of all the goods we make. So this is the net kind of production we have per minute. So as you can see, we're actually developing 10 bioresin, and that's getting eaten up by this biopolymer factory. And then we're producing a surplus of 10 biopolymers per minute. And we're also losing 3 organic food per minute. So our current population is consuming that much food per minute. And I really like this little overview because it tells you exactly what we're losing, exactly what we're gaining, and you can get a very good balance of resources. And I guess the strategy is you kind of want to have everything at 0, so everything is perfectly balanced. You're not at a surplus where you're spending too much money and not really using it, and you're not at a deficit where you're losing out on stuff. So we want to try to keep everything at 0, except for maybe building materials in case you're going to build a lot of stuff. But in the meantime, let's build one more block of houses so we can hit our above 25 residences thing.
Your construction crew is one of the first ready. Keep up the pace. Your competitors will try to catch up. For the next construction stage, you'll need qualified ground staff to operate the spaceport. Make sure to adhere to Union standards while providing the required infrastructure.
Sounds good. So next order of business, we're running low on food, so let's build some food. And as some of the more observant of you might have seen, we're running low on everything else too. So we gotta get this sorted out. So in the first place,
under provision of specific consumer goods detected.
yes, I'm aware. So as you can see here, we built an organic food farm. So we are now increasing food production. And if we look at our surplus here, we're gaining 1 food per minute. So we're all good to go. The other thing we just came up because our population just increased is we're going to need some water. So we need to build a desalinization plant. I know what that is. So desalinization plants, they have to be built on a coastal build point. So there's quite a few of these, and we can see them kind of, lying around here. But I'm going to put it over here since this is kind of my production area.
You need this desalination plant. These days, it's the only way to come by drinkable water.
There you go. So we're skimming some water up the top there, desalinizing it, taking out the salt. And there you
Company
go.
trademarks grow in popularity.
Thank you very much. So there's quite a lot of new things that we need to deal with, and the mechanics are very different from previous Anno games. Really, really different. And I'll explain some of them as we go along. But so here at the bottom corner here, we can see these numbers: workforce, energy, logistics, and we need to manage basically these 3 numbers along with whatever resources we have at the top. But we need to keep an eye on these numbers as well. So the logistics is an interesting one, and I'll explain that when it becomes a problem in a second. But in the meantime, we got a good surplus of water and food going on here, and we basically just need to attract more workers. So let's build one more group of workers. I'll do something like this to make it a little more interesting. Good stuff. Look at those houses. So futuristic. And I assume this should probably get us to the correct number of workers. We're starting to... where our food is exactly at 0 production, which is pretty good. Our water's doing great. And I assume we should be up to 200 workers any minute now. And you can fast forward, slow down the game if you need to just wait for stuff to produce or tick over, what have you. So I'm just going to fast forward till we get to 200 workers, if it ever happens. Looks like we might be 1 or 2 houses short, unfortunately. So how about I'll build one right here? Will that be enough for us?
Me? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Pretty good place to be.
I don't know where it says how many workers are in each house. Maybe it says it here. Houses up to 5 employees. Okay. So I assume if they're 100% satisfied, it houses the full 5 employees. But they're not fully satisfied yet because they need a... What is
Didn't
it?
expect the management
They
to
need
show up.
information. The need for information is strong. There we go. 200 population. Perfect.
New blueprints ready for implementation.
So now we're ready to construct the Infodrome. And basically, if you've played any other Annos before, we need the Infodrome satisfies the need for information. But unlike the other buildings where there's kind of a radius that each building served, now it serves it still serves a radius, but it's not quite the same. It kind of moves. The service moves along roads instead of just in a circle around the thing, which
A broad range of information services.
I think is a pretty good
This
way to
will
do
enable
it.
your employees to develop their interests as well as their skills.
Excellent. Look at that. It's 24 degrees. Have a nice day. How nice. So as you can see here, we ran out of energy supply, so we need to build a power plant, and we got one right here, a wind park. It cost us 3 biopolymers. So these work the same as they did in the
Warning.
previous Anno.
Energy demand can no longer be met.
I know, I'm working on it, man. Chill out. Basically, you don't want to have energy things overlap, so we want to keep as least a little overlap as possible to maximize the efficiency of these energy production buildings. And I think this is probably enough for us at this point. We got 40 extra power, which is just great. Very happy with that. We haven't come across the logistics yet, so I'll talk about that in a little while. So also another change here is that you must manually upgrade houses in this one. So it used to be that they would your houses would, on their own upgrade unless you denied them ascension rights. But now we need to actually select which houses we want to pick. And you can see I go into my upgrade mode down here. For me, my hotkey for that is U. And we can select to upgrade a house by paying 2 biopolymers to upgrade this house.
At your service.
There you go. So
Remarkable progress. You've assembled construction crews and ground personnel faster than I was expecting. You are more than ready for the first major hurdle. The program demands you connect your city with the Global Union space station via a space elevator. So far, only megacorps like the Big Five use such technology. But I'm sure you have the same potential.
thanks. So we're getting there. One nice tip, you can hold and drag to upgrade multiple buildings at once. So I'm just going to upgrade all these. Also, there's no penalty I know of for just upgrading. I know in previous Anno games, if you advanced too fast, then you could easily outstrip your resource generation capabilities, and you would run out of fish or something like that, and just kind of screw yourself over. You never want to advance too fast.
Not
But in this
bad,
one,
for the most part.
in 2205, separate citizen tiers, so operators and normal
We'll be
workers,
the company that conquers the whole solar system.
they
I know we
don't
will.
share resources. So here workers have organic food, water, information, and operators don't need any of that stuff. They need vitamin drinks, rejuvenation, neuroimplants.
Ah,
So-
I knew there was something going on here. Nick Papadakis Enterprises. You want a good deal? Just come to my warehouse.
This is the most racist He's like a Greek slimy businessman. I'm actually not right at all in there. Forget that I
Is
said
there
that. That was something
something
I was
the matter
thinking
at work?
before, and I'm wrong. So they do share resources. It's okay, but it's still not a problem. Over kind of upgrading,
Is there
I guess.
something?
So let's while I'm talking about that, let's see what our food production looks like. It seems like we're running a little low here, so let's lay down another farm. Now I want to leave room around these because later on we can get expansions to these farms, and it's way more cost efficient to use expansions than to just build a whole new farm. So I want to leave some room over here to expand this farm.
So how may I be of service?
What I'm trying to say, though, is that in previous games, like citizens or something would eat way more fish than the peasants did. But here, it seems to me like it's the same amount of organic food for workers and operators. So if you just do a big upgrade, it's not going to damage your economy too much, is basically what I'm trying to say. In the longest, most ridiculous way possible, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Construction of new building types possible.
So let's take a look at our next objectives here. So okay, let me just double check this. Vitamin drinks certainly would be nice to get those running. Our food and water seems to be fine. I'm happy. So we want to start upgrading your spaceport with a space elevator, and to do that we need to produce some constructo bots. Oh, I love those constructo
Consumer
bots.
analyses show unfulfilled demand for specific commodities.
I know, calm down. I can't, oh, I can build a, no I can't, I need constructo bots first. Alright, so for constructo bots, we need a feldspar quarry, and we need a cobalt mine, and then we bring all that stuff to this robot assembly hall. So you can see robot assembly hall takes nanoceramics and cobalt, makes them into constructo bots. Each one of these mines creates 5 of their nanoceramics and cobalt per minute, and this one takes the 5, so this will give us a perfect resource balance. So let me build a cobalt mine first, and I'll just build it right here. I like how these mines look, by the way. They look really cool. Like, look at that. Amazing. It's just like a huge mine that goes super deep. I don't know, I like that. You know me, I love just destroying the land for resources. That's my favorite thing. That's why I liked Global Trust so much in the previous one. Alright, so this was a cobalt mine, so let's build a feldspar quarry. I guess here's a good place to do it. Might as well move it right here. Keep it close by. And we'll extend this road a little bit. Let's just do this, I think. I have plans for that road later. And we need a little more power. So unlike other Annos as well, these power stations require road connection. So you have to build them on a road. I made that mistake early on, and I didn't like it. Alright, also our logistics is getting kind of low, so I think it's time you build these transportation centers to enhance your logistics capabilities. So not only do they give you more logistics, oh my god, that costs a fortune. I think I'm going to stop that. Not only do these buildings give you more logistics, I'm actually not going to build this because I don't want to use up all my energy. But the farther away a building is from a depot, like your main warehouse over here, or a little logistics node like this thing, the more it costs you logistics to get resources from that area. So this farm would cost me less logistics because it's closer to the warehouse than if I built the same farm up here. It would cost me more of this logistics resource to get stuff from that farm. So it is slightly, well, it's a different and weird mechanic, and maybe I'll explain it a little more when we get into it later on. But for now, let's just leave it at that. So next thing is, last thing we want to do is build this Constructobots factory. And I think I'll just build it right here, possibly. Yeah, I think this is a good place to build it.
Good.
Constructobots.
You've gathered the components needed for the elevator. Only the elevator cable requires special materials you can't produce. But I arranged for a delivery.
All right. So we got several problems that just happened there. This is like the most inefficient building of power areas ever. So as you can see, we are low on power, so I built another power station, and we're low on workforce now. So workforce is the third and final thing we need to worry about.
Workforce recommended.
Thank you. I was just explaining that. Workforce is exactly what you would expect. We just need to build more people. So nothing to worry about there. So let's build some more of these houses here. And I'll leave this space open in case we want more special buildings like this infodrome. We can plop them in there when we need to.
Your industry suffers from a shortage of workforce.
I know.
This impairs productivity.
Calm down, everybody. So we just unlocked some more operator buildings after getting these operators. And if you see here, not only do we have residents, but we also have a residential complex. So residential complex is actually it's equivalent to 4 houses in the amount of people it can serve. So it holds 20 employees. That's exactly 4 houses. But it also costs 2 biopolymers and 1 Constructobot. So it's a little bit more cost effective than buying 4 houses. But it stores the same amount of people. So it also allows you to build bigger blocks, which is what I really like about it. So instead of building, a 2 by whatever block, we can now build a 4 by 4 like this. And the road
Good.
is still going to connect up to
You should keep this
everybody.
procedure in mind in future.
So you can build bigger.
Competitive edge sharpened.
You can build a lot bigger little areas like this. In fact, I'm going to expand this. Which is kind of cool. I like that because in the previous Annos, your cities would all become 2 by 2 blocks like this, and now we can kind of expand it to make them bigger city blocks, and I think it looks neat. Let's just upgrade all these right now. Get the maximum amount of people. And now that I did that, let me take a look at what we got here. So food is a problem. So let's build another farm. And screw it, I'm just going to build it right there. Another godsend of a feature that I just love more than anything is this right here, this move feature. So I can click on move mode, and I can click on a building, and now I can move that building to wherever I want. And this is so good for me because I hate when I place buildings in the wrong place. So you can move stuff for free, and I love it. It makes me happy. And as anybody who has watched my videos before knows, that I will happily sacrifice resource efficiency to move my buildings around. So I'm very happy they added a move function like that. Alright, so let's see, what do we got going on here? We want a lot more operator population. We can certainly do that. And we want to produce vitamin drinks. So I think this has been a pretty good start. I think we're nearing time as I speak here. So I'm going to put a cut in the video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Building types possible.
I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, go ahead and click the like button. And next time, we'll start building some vitamin drinks, some delicious juice for our population here. So I'll see you all next time.